All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Lightversations with TEDS. Woohoo! Make some noise, make some noise, make some
Here we go,
noise.
here we
All right.
go.
Yeah. All right. So, once again, this is us, TEDS, and yours truly, Tony Spark, as your host. And I'm with our awesome, not only are they part of the TEDs, but they're also our. Our fellow teammates in the conversation of Lightversations. So, Dimitri Goriete, make some noise, Dimitri. All right. All right. The Gorietti in the house. And of course, the man with the hats and the cars and a huge teddy bear in the background. Emmer and cars and hats.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Dimitri, meet
Yeah.
my new company. Her name. Her name is
Her
Ella.
name. Oh gosh.
Actually,
Her. All
yeah, her
right.
yellow is ano kung brown, so she is a she. A teddy
Yon.
bear. Yeah.
Kakaiba, ha? Kakaiba na yung
I have
background mo,
two
Emmer
family
and
here,
Carson
yeah.
Hats. So
Yeah.
again, guys, for all of you watching, thank you so much for being with us. But hey, you know what? You can tag your friends, your loved ones, and just like, subscribe, share, and join in the conversations with us here at Lightversations with Ted. Yun. And this particular episode, we're on our episode 6. Gosh, it's episode
Wow.
6 already. We've got a lot more to go. But you know what? You guys watching and listening to us right now, you can also share with us what you would want us to talk about in the future episodes that we're going to have with Lightversation. So share with us in the comment section what are the possible topics you want us to cover. And we hope that we get to choose your topic and you get to join us in the conversation. So here we go, guys. For this particular episode, since we just celebrated an awesome day, last June 12th was the Independence Day of our country here in the Philippines. So make some noise for that one. Yeah. All right. So
Freedom.
yeah, freedom it is. And when it comes to talking about independence of a particular nation, of a particular country, it's not just the Philippines, but hey, everyone wants to celebrate that very day, that very moment that they were freed, or they were established, or they were given governance, for the first time, free and independent governance. But the question is really, what does independence really mean? We can talk about here in the Philippines, we can talk about lupang hinirang, and you feel like that nationalism, patriotism in there, or yung ano yung sinasabi natin, brother Emmer, yung with our hands every time in class. Do you remember that?
Panatang makabayan.
Yan!
Yeah.
Tagalog kasi, panatang makabayan, no? And that's one thing we also celebrate, no? Our independence. It's not just waving a flag, but hey, here's the question that we want you guys to join us with here in this particular episode today, yeah? Here's the question. The question now is, what does independence mean to you? All right? What does independence mean to you? But yeah, to kick off with our sharing, why not we hear it from the Gorietti himself, Mr. Dimitri. Dimitri!
Hey, yeah, you know what, Metal Boy? It just dawned on me. I didn't go to school in the Philippines, and so when you guys
Yeah.
raise your hands to the right, like you were making a gesture, I was wondering if the teacher was asking, "All right, children, what did you guys do with your hand last night?"
Oh
I don't
my
know what
God.
I don't know what this gesture meant, but
I like
you know, going into
you.
going into
You naughty guy. You naughty guy. No,
yeah,
you
well,
know,
I'm just,
naughty.
you know, again, it's my business to study human behavior, and I think that's like behavior humans do from time to time. So, you know,
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I just have to ponder on that. But going into Independence Day, I was thinking about the question, and it has a different meaning to everyone. You know, what I would like to say is independence can be, you know, an entity, a place, a group of people,
Right.
or it
Right.
could be an individual person who's actually seeking independence from control. Take, for
Mm.
instance, I was sharing with you guys in previous episodes, my grandfather served under the administration of Caesar, and
Right,
so
right.
if you could recall the story that portrayed our people, uh, I'll share with you guys. My grandfather is actually in that picture. You see, he's the guy on the very right, on the left ear of Caesar. So yeah,
Oh,
he served
okay.
under the
Oh,
administration.
I thought
He
that was
wasn't
your
he
grandpa.
wasn't a senior member of the original administration, but he had a role. He had several roles. I think he was a deputy at one point. But my grandfather, after the community was established, and
Yeah.
Caesar was the founding member, the chartered like president of the group, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. The community flourished eventually. So my
Right.
grandfather, upon retirement and upon serving, I would just say 8 government service, he put up a successful banana business
Oh,
and peanut
okay.
business,
Okay.
and so he had several children. My grandmother was also talking ape, and my aunts and uncles, I think they ventured into
Good
the
thing
peanut
it's not
business.
nagging.
But
Okay.
my father, he's the one who took over the banana business. And
Oh.
my father, what he did was he had a little, he went through a little taboo with my mother because my mother is not part of the community. She's a talking, she's not a talking ape. She's a yeti, in fact. And so that's a bit
Oh my
unorthodox
gosh.
for a talking ape to
Yeah,
mate with a non-talking ape.
Yeah.
But my father did fall in love with her, and you know, what I can say about independence was me, because this Yeti mother of mine, who I love dearly, is very controlling.
Right.
If you're familiar with the Yetis, Yetis can be very controlling. I think they were depicted in Looney Tunes before. You can see Yetis are always described to be like that. But
Right.
independence could be seeking freedom, not necessarily from something terrible, but independence could be just seeking freedom. But
Right.
I guess the one that inspires me the most when this question arises is independence, seeking freedom from something terrible happening. And
Right.
one particular memorable Independence Day story uh, for me was the 100 Years War. This was a terrible war that reached 5 different kings already in Europe. It was a battle for Western Europe. It was the time when chivalry was beginning, and it was its downfall as well. And this was predominantly between the British and the French. And what inspires me about this independence is, the British came in there, invaded France. They wanted to capture and take control of Western Europe, and as the battle ensued, the Black Plague also happened during this period,
Right.
and the economies
Oh.
of both countries were devastated. It's just so happens that the British were able to recover faster than the French. So the
Right.
French were really oppressed. They were hungry. They were demoralized, but they needed some hope. They had very little. The war was favoring already the British, but they wanted their independence. And what inspires me about this particular cause for independence is God was part of it. You see, uh,
Right.
there was a young maiden from Orleans named Joan of Arc, and God spoke to her, and she was able to carry out, through the inspiration and through God talking to her, she was able to lead the French into several victories, which eventually turned the
Ah.
tide and helped France get its independence. So, she's even very well revered. Not only was she canonized and she became a saint in the 20th century, she's even depicted in pop culture. I'm not sure if there's any. Yeah, this is from Rise of Kingdoms, a game that you can find on iPhone, and even Joan of Arc is over there. But she's a
All
saint,
right.
and
Oh, yeah.
this particular independence is meaningful to me because God was involved directly. You know, um,
Right.
so that's I guess one way of looking at independence is it's independence not necessarily from something really terrible. You just need your independence, and then there's that other kind of independence when you fight for freedom because you're being oppressed. And when God
Right.
comes in, God's will is,
Woohoo!
there's no stopping.
Awesome. Love it.
So
Love
there you
it.
go. That's
Thank
my thoughts on independence.
gosh, our professor in anthropology giving us a short
You know,
history lesson on the 100 years of of that war between France and England, but it's so good we get to have these models of independence here, and they really do teach us something that we can look forward to and really work things out of facing oppression during this time. But yeah, well, I'm sure Emmer and Cars and Hats also has something to share when it comes to independence. Yes, Emmer and Cars and Hats.
yes. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good
And good
evening,
night.
cheers, and good night. I'll see you later.
Tinapos mo na kagad. You're ending the show right away. Good night.
That is my, actually, that is independence.
Okay. All right.
Well, anyway, guys, belated Independence Day last June
Yeah.
12. So right now I'm wearing again my what weathered hat. So independence may be a synonym to two words: freedom and right. So
Right.
freedom is a freedom of choice. That's why as I did shouted at the background, freedom. Well. Anyway, what is freedom? So each and every one of us wants independence. We have to be
Yeah.
independent
Yeah.
from what? If independence is even also a choice. Controlled by or what's happening to me right now. Oh, slow
Yeah.
internet.
You're good.
Well,
It's good.
anyway,
You're good.
yeah, I'm
Connection is
good.
just
Oh, but on screen,
lapsing, but you're good.
yeah, oh, yeah, okay,
Independence,
good. So now,
freedom,
oh, now this time this is so, this is so
freedom
hard,
from
guys.
lacking of internet. That's what we need right
Yes,
now.
that one we cannot control. It is
uh,
beyond our freedom of choice, but we can choose. Actually, it's a life is a choice. It's all about freedom, but
right. Right.
I will make it short. If freedom and choice is being exercised by each and every one of us, but if that freedom or your choice is already an abuse or overuse, it's no longer freedom but abuse. Because we also
Right.
have to respect the freedom and the right of other people. That is true independence. We
Mm.
have to respect each other's freedom and right. So that's why there are a lot of there are a lot of conflicts because no man, you're wrong. This is right. No, this is wrong. This
Yeah.
is right.
Relativism.
And then it ends up no longer respecting
Right.
the freedom and the choice of each other. So each and every one of us. Ayokong pahabain pero madalas masabi, di ba? Paano naman yung aking karapatan sa ating market? It's so often that we see this on the streets, especially
Yeah.
here in our country. But hey, you're forgetting also the right of the people to be tahimik lang. Ba't kayo nanggugulo? Is that a freedom already? It's already an overuse.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
overuse, abuse already. So, and then even in religion, we have to respect the religion or the faith of other people because
Mm.
by respect that is loving. So respect each other's choices and then don't overuse it. That's all,
Right.
guys.
All
That's
right.
my view
Woohoo!
of what is independence in me.
Thank you, Emmer and Cars and Hats. Yeah, that's so true. I love that those points, those really salient points, guys. Because I mean, when it comes to independence, really, I mean, are you really independent even if you declare that you're independent? Because freedom can be in so many levels, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
know people who have been oppressed. We know people who have been into slavery and taken advantage of. But I mean, you may be physically caged, but if in your heart you find freedom, I think that really matters most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kasi tama, you're correct, Emmer and Carson had that. If I can't remember what philosopher said that, but my freedom ends where another freedom begins. So there really is no absolute freedom. Yun lang I think we need to point out here, that if we're looking for absolute freedom, it
Yeah.
really doesn't exist, because there are still, people look
Some.
like to the Catholic Church. They say that everything that the church teaches is constricting, but hey, if it leads you to a better life, to grow in your personal life, does it really constrict you? Does it really restrict you? I think that's where we can find independence, if we find discipline as well. So for me, independence means discipline, and that means discipline from following our own selfish desires, that leads to
Yeah.
oppression, that leads to
Yeah.
injustice, no? But if you become selfless and think about others first, I think that's where real independence happens, not just for you, but for those around you. So I think that's what independence means for me. For those watching in our awesome episode right now, I know for some of you it may feel a little bit short because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to independence, but do share with us in the comment section, what does independence mean to you, right? And we'd love to
Yeah.
also know what your thoughts are for our future episodes. Do share with us so that we get to talk more about those awesome concerns, issues, and topics, hot topics that you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
But as we wrap up this quick episode, guys, we just want to share with you that me, yours truly, Tony Spark with Dimitri Gorietti and Emmer and Cars and Hats, we also are part of a community where we also feel independence, spiritual independence, because we have here our Light of Jesus Pastoral Care Center that you can reach out to if you feel that you or someone you know is going through an emotional or psychological burden at this time, right? Please do take a screenshot of these details and do share for their reference and for your reference as well, all right? We have awesome servants and licensed counselors who are more than happy to reach out and help you. Yeah, okay. Emmer, take a screenshot. Yeah, literally, screenshot from your camera. Yeah. And we also have our online schedules with Feast at Home Bay Area. Take a screenshot again of these awesome schedules. Every day of the week, you can be blessed. And of course, tag your friends, loved ones, and comment as well as you grow and we journey together as a community. So there you have it, guys. And again, for you all watching right now at our Lightversations with TEDS, we're just glad that you're here joining with us. And again, we ask you, as we celebrate 123 years of the independence of the Philippines, what does independence mean to you, right? Not just for a nation, but for you personally. All right, so with that, guys, Dimitri and Emmer, can we just say bye? Thank you and see
See
you.
you
Now,
later,
see you again.
alligators.
See you
Yeah.
at
Gonna
our
be
next episode.
Next episode. See you next
Woohoo!
episode.
Yeah!
yeah.
Woohoo!
Woohoo.
Woohoo! Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, more
Woohoo.
noise, more noise, more noise.
Woo! Are we on?
Woohoo!
Are we off the air already?
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
off. We're going
We're
out now.
supposed to
All
Yeah.
be
So
right.
if the
here.
teacher
Yeah,
if the
we're off.
teacher
We're
said
off.
if the teacher asked me that, what
Okay,
am I
bye
gonna
Yeah.
do?